northeast from Whitewater Draw, it was nice seeing the lush grasslands again. Yes, I was still in Arizona, in the southeast portion of the state known as Cochise County. About 35 miles from Wilcox, Chiricahua National Monument is a small little park snuggled in the mountains and bordering the Coronado National Forest. From a distance, you'll see only the pasture lands and rocks, but there is also a substantial forest reserve in between, which permits dispersed camping. Pinery Canyon Road takes you to Coronado Forest. Be warned, however, the road is a rough one and not suited for large RVs or motorhomes. I'll be talking more about this road later in the video, but my first priority was finding a nice spot to camp. Well, this is definitely a compromise. Not only is it cloudy, but I'm under trees, so really not much hope of gaining any solar power. But it is a nice, quiet location, so I think I can wing it for a few days. I should clarify that statement. You will generate solar power in the shade or in cloudy days, just not as much as you would in full sunlight. My first friend for this campout was a Mexican jay. There's nothing more peaceful than sitting by a stream, listening to the cool water cascade through the rocks. And nature now offered me an energy-free solution to another task: keeping my beer cold. You know, it almost looks like a commercial. Natural ice. It's so natural and icy. With the beer taken care of, it's time to explore Chiricahua. So what's the big deal of a little national monument hidden in a canyon? Drive a couple of miles and you'll find it's a little different from the rest. Round a corner and you're greeted by a wall of rock of majestic proportions. This is called rhyolite, and the columns tower over you like Egyptian pharaohs guarding an ancient temple. At the end of Bonita Canyon Road is Maasai Point, the perfect spot to view these rock formations protruding across the horizon. Look north and you'll see Cochise Head, the great Apache warrior chief, lying peacefully on his back. The trails are immaculately groomed, but be careful, there's still a lot of rocks that fall. Little pebbles that you can pick up and trip on. I always wear my hiking boots, and it's a short hike today anyway. But it's a beautiful trail. It's going to be a wonderful day. The trail I was referring to was the Echo Canyon Trail, which can be long or short depending on whether you loop it with others. The Echo Canyon Trail is known for the many grottos you pass through on the way down the slope. These natural formations are the perfect spot on a hot day to find somewhere cool. But don't spend the whole trail walking. Take a few breaks and peer over the canyon ridge to admire the view. It looks to me like some giant left his big shoe on a ledge. Someone named this formation Mushroom Rock. A lot of birds call this place home, as well as a special species of agave. For those up to the challenge, try the more strenuous trails like Inspiration Point. The name couldn't be more fitting. And then there's Big Balanced Rock. So how hard was it to balance on a cliff anyway? I had to know. The Heart of Rocks Loop had a lot of interesting rock formations, like this windy hole in the wall, and this one named Punch and Judy. Although this looks like a black and white photo, it's the real color of this wedged rock in a tree. But just as I was rocking out of this place, I found this cute little critter lying on a ledge. This is a mountain spiny lizard, posed like a dragon and looking fierce in its bronze armor. But someone up trail didn't share my enthusiasm. But that was enough hiking for one day, so back to camp I went. There's something so calm and relaxing about being amongst the trees. I think it's the nurturing part of the forest. There is no forest without trees, to me anyway. That's why I come out here. Time for one more encounter with the locals. I saw movement around a rock, so I went to investigate. Turns out to be hundreds of flying ants that erupted from the depths to hit the sky in a flurry of wings. But they were not alone. That Mexican jay just hit the jackpot with an insect buffet. Seems he was catching and stashing his haul before the other birds found out. Clever little guy. With the Mexican well fed, I had to get back to another pressing issue, dealing with that nasty road I encountered on the way in. The road into the Coronado forest is one of the worst I've ever seen. It's terrible. And it's not the occasional dips and ruts of any back roads that really concern me in this particular case. It has some red gravel, which has the worst washboarding I've ever seen. It was that washboarding that was responsible for the salsa mess I mentioned in my refrigerator video. Going slow didn't work when I came in, so it's not going to work when I go out. Now, one of my main concerns with the A-liner is dust and vibration. Now, I've bungeed everything inside, but I find that along the sides, I get gaps of air in between here, which are not completely sealed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to force a little bit of foam in there once it's closed, but I've got to prop it open a little bit. So I'll use one of my stops for the wheels for that. I'll show you what I mean. So that brings it up a little bit because you've got to slide it in. Once it's in, you can let your roof down. And that should keep out some of the dust from the inside. In order to document these theories, I duct taped my action camera to the roof of my Jeep. This would give me a good perspective as to what the trailer endures under these conditions. Time to get the rocket to the launching pad. There. Prepare for a bumpy ride. Red gravel. This kind of washboarding, the slower you go, the worse it shakes. Although it looks like I'm really flying down the road, I'm actually doing just a little over 40 miles per hour. As far as the trailer goes, the dust was terrible, but the ride was much smoother when the speed increased over the washboarding. But let's be smart here. It only takes one bump to totally destroy your day. So what did I learn? The foam definitely helped keep the dust out of the trailer, but nothing completely eliminates the effects of a washboard road. Avoid them at all costs. Well, I don't think I have any critical reason to have a fire tonight. I just kind of felt like it. And I like Coronado Forest. It's a great place to boondock in amongst the alligator junipers and the pines. There's oak trees here. There's a lot of trees. It's beautiful. And Chiricahua is a beautiful park. So there is a good reason to have a campfire. Is that it's great with beer. Beer and campfires go together. Cheers. That's a crackly one. Not the beer, the fire. Woo! Oh, it's burning me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and check out my other ones, past, present, and future. Always go where the road takes you.